Let's talk about the power of a single phrase. We've all seen it happen, and perhaps we've all been part of this happening, where you've had a single phrase that you've said that has ruined a sale, ruined a relationship, gotten bad press, whatever. Or you've had a single phrase that you've said that's caused somebody to buy or invest or do something. It is astounding to me how oftentimes I've found that one or two phrases literally made or killed the entire conversion rate of a webinar or a launch or something like that. So this is something that is well worth considering. Just real quick story. I just literally 10 minutes ago got back from doing something that I frequently do. I'll take a older teenager, just graduated from high school or something like that, out to dinner and just talk to them about what their plans are, give them some perspective and things. Oftentimes I'm simply repeating the things their parents are saying, but because they hear it from somebody who's not related to them, sometimes they take it seriously. And I made a joke about how I went through the stupid years in my life where I was not risk adverse and just thought I couldn't be harmed with anything. And I referred to them as the stupid years. And as I dropped him off at his place, I said, thanks for talking to an old guy. And he said, thanks for talking to somebody who's going through their stupid years. And I realized that of everything we talked about, much of it, which was pretty valuable, the thing he heard was, he thinks I'm stupid. And it's like, oh, I didn't need to say that. I didn't mean to say that. I certainly didn't mean to imply that, but that's what got communicated. So a single phrase can kill a deal. It can make a sale. It's one of those things that just so often happens. So let's talk about how we use those phrases so that we actually identify and take advantage of the phrases that really work and identify and eliminate the phrases that don't. First one, I suggest that you actively record and analyze your conversations. Go through it, and anything that makes you feel at all uncomfortable, you can really count on the fact that it made them, the hearer, feel a lot uncomfortable. And those phrases ought to be eliminated. And some of them are like, oh, that was good. Those should be written down and recorded for use later on. And I suggest you actively make lists, both positive and negative, of the phrases that you use. My guess is you're going to find yourself consistently using one or two negative phrases that are taken negatively that are hurting you. Probably phrases you grew up with, probably the phrases that everybody around you is saying. But when people who don't know you and know who you are in your core hear them, they say, ooh, it makes me uncomfortable, and it drives them away. I suggest you ask for feedback. You go to those who are your friends, who love you, who care about you, or maybe even just someone who is frequently listening to you, and you ask them to give you feedback on the phrases that you say that are hurting your relationship with people. And then be willing to take that feedback that they give you. Because if you argue back with them, if you explain, if you give them the excuse or anything else like that, you just told them, hey, I'm not interested in the feedback that I asked for and that you so kindly gave me. I suggest you take those phrases that work, the ones that actually are positive, and actively take that list of the phrases that work and work them into your copy. I just dropped some cards. I got to go find them so I know what to say. Okay. And I suggest, back to the other side, if you're really bad at this, I suggest you actually use recordings for your sales pitches and things like that. So let's say you're doing a webinar. You can do 90% of the webinar, but you may want to record the sales presentation if you find yourself actively hurting yourself. I suggest you recognize that positive phrases build people and they help contribute to your sales. And then you start asking yourself the question, how can I build people in this interaction that I'm going to have right now? So that interaction with that teenager, how can I build him? That interaction you're going to have with your audience in your webinar, how can I build them? Just come into it with that attitude, and it will help you to be able to say the right things and not say the wrong ones. All right. What's your experience with this? You ever done something like I did with that dinner today? Do you have phrases that you find yourself consistently use that help or that hurt? Let me know in the comments. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.